So you want to change your life and change everything in 2025 for you. Well, this is a guide with no bullshit when I'm going to teach you guys a few different ways that you can change your life this next coming year. This might not be a super entertaining video, but watch the whole thing if you genuinely want to learn all the methods I'm about to teach you and actually change your life. I'm gonna give you 6 different methods on how you can change your life, and this is guaranteed, like straight up. So let's just get straight into it. The first method is to eliminate your bad habits. Now, a lot of people wonder how they can change your life, and they want to start adding all these random good habits like working out and waking up early. But the thing is, you're not gonna be able to do those consistently if you just have bad habits throughout your life. So let's think about it on a deeper level. Habits make up your entire life, right? You only have a certain amount of time to do a certain amount of habits. You don't have enough time to do every habit in the world, so you just choose a few to do during your day. This means you can't just add new habits all the time. You have to replace them. And to add a good habit, that means you have to get rid of a bad habit. And think of the bad habits as poison, because you're not able to add a good habit if you don't get rid of the old ones first. And this just makes sense, right? But a lot of people just try to stack on these new habits, especially during New Year's, and then it never works. And this is why I'm telling you this first technique first, because it's the most important one. And I'm sure you know what bad habits are, but let me just list off the common ones, actually the most common ones right now. There's doom scrolling, binge watching, doing any sort of drugs, not getting out of the house, junk food, pornography, beating your shit, hookups. I mean, there's so many different bad habits, but those are the main ones that most people do. And those ones especially are the most poisonous ones, because they will completely take over your mental and your whole time. And the more of those you get rid of, the way more effective you are going to become, and especially in adding those good habits. Because doing any good habit with those in your life is just going to be very difficult. I'm not going to explain to you every single bad habit, because you guys are smart. You know what is bad for you. And think about it, how everything in the world is really trying to distract you. Your phone, television, other people, everything is programmed to distract you, because that's what makes money. So the hardest part is actually getting rid of these bad habits first. And it can even be the most mentally challenging part, because we're just so used to having them, and most people don't get rid of them. So it's like kind of paving our own path by ourselves. And no one's able to help you with this. Like, you have to do this by yourself pretty much, because who's gonna make you stop doing these bad habits? Like, nobody. You have to do it yourself. You have to take that initiative, and this is the first step of really changing your life in 2025. Now, the second technique is implementing those good habits like I talked about. So when you stop doing the bad habits, you need to immediately start implementing a good habit slowly. Some examples of good habits are journaling, working out, running, reading, studying, waking up early. Like, again, I don't have to explain what the good habits are. I promise you that you already know them. It's more of the matter that you guys just haven't fucking done it yet. Every New Year's, you guys are probably failing, or just procrastinating, or making dumbass excuses, or being lazy. Whatever the excuse is, you guys know what the good habits are. Everybody does. You just haven't done them yet for some reason. Now, if you're watching this video, I just want you guys to take the first step, because as soon as you take the first step, you're already ahead of most people, because most people are so lazy that they don't even take the first step. And once you take the first step, you've already made the progress, and then your brain kind of thinks like, oh shit, I've already done a little bit, I might as well keep going. And that's kind of how you think. Once you do the first thing, it's just much easier to keep on going. Now, remember how I said implement these good habits slowly? Well, a lot of people on January 1st or the new year, they just immediately try to add 20 different fucking good habits. Oh, I'm gonna start working out at 5 a.m. I'm gonna start on a crazy diet. I'm gonna be like Goggins. Bro, you're not gonna just like flip a switch and you're gonna turn into a new person. Like, you have to add these good habits slowly, or it's never gonna stick around consistently. So start slow, add good habits one by one. That way you can fully get it down and not just try to add multiple. Like, changing your habits is a slow process, because it's a very mental thing. So everything is about consistency and discipline. You're not going to see any progress by just grinding only in January. No, you have to go slow and consistent and keep it throughout the whole fucking year. Now, the third technique is to make specific plans for this new year. Guys, dreams are nothing without a plan. If you are not specifically fucking planning things out, I promise you it will never happen. And one of the things I've learned throughout my whole life is that everything good you have to fucking work for, have the exact vision and plan it out. Because there is like a 1% chance that that shit is going to fall in your lap, especially if it's something good. And the same thing is going to happen in 2025. If you don't have it written down specifically, the exact thought process in your mind, better yet the steps behind it, then you're not going to get it most likely. And you know, it's crazy. Literally a recent study came out, which I saw on an Instagram post, is that literally by writing down your goals, they're like 40% increased chance of happening, which is, it makes sense, because by writing it down, you have the vision, you start to actually act on it. And that's why one of my biggest tips, which I've been talking about a little bit, is making a vision board for the new year. What I consider a vision board is just writing your goals on a poster board, and you can put pictures of whatever things, like materialistic things or goals you want to achieve. Put it on your wall in your bedroom. That way, whenever you're in your bedroom, you just always see that on your wall, and you're always thinking about your goals and where you want to go, you know? And what I do on that vision board is I write down my specific yearly goals. They're kind of big goals, things I want to do in 2025. They're big things. Like, I'm dreaming high with those goals. And I literally get that ready on New Year's Eve. On the 31st, I had that written out. I put it on my wall. That way it's ready as soon as 2025 hits. If you're doing that late, it doesn't matter. New Year's Eve is just a holiday. Just get it ready now. The second thing I do is keep specific monthly goals as well. So I have the yearly goals, and then I also have like a little post-it note. You can write this down on a paper or in your phone notes, whatever you want to do. Write down your specific monthly goals as well. And these are going to be smaller goals, but they're going to be much more specific and realistic, and have those goals for every single month. Every new month that comes, make your new goals. Have something new, because every month as time is going on, your goals are going to change. So that's why in the beginning of the year, you have the broad ones, and then in the months, you have the more specific ones. And it really does help with achieving your goals, like seriously. And then the third thing I like to do is write down my to-do list on a whiteboard in real life, or on notes, or whatever you want to do on a phone, and write a to-do list for your daily stuff, small daily stuff that you need to do. It's more like tasks, not really goals, but it just helps you do shit during the day and stay very productive. I know for a lot of us, including myself, when we wake up, it's just like kind of hard to think of what we need to do for the day. So just writing it down the day before, it just helps me keep things clear and exactly like, okay, I need to do all this during the day. And I started doing this really like this year in 2024. Helps so fucking much, bro. Like, I really recommend that for you guys. And I'm telling you guys, if you're not keeping these fucking systems, you're gonna lose to your own brain, because your own brain, human nature and psychology is trying to sabotage you. All the other systems and companies around you, they're trying to distract you and sabotage you and make money off you. You really need to be locked in with these systems, or you don't have a chance, bro. Unless you're like the 1% disciplined like David Goggins, you have a really good why and you don't need all that stuff. Most of us normal people, we need these systems to just stay in check. Because even if you have a really good why, it's not going to be on your brain 24/7. Sometimes you're just going to be distracted by sleep or being lazy, because that's just how our brain works. But these systems just keep you elevated and keep you productive. And the fourth technique I have for you guys, which I've never seen anybody talk about on the internet, is brainwashing yourself. Now, we all know that all of our change that we have starts from the mental. The way we think about life determines our actions, which determines our life and how we do. So depending on who you want to become depends on the way you think. I know this sounds kind of weird and like voodoo-ish, but you really have to brainwash yourself and change your mentality to be the type of person you want to become. If you want to become rich, you have to brainwash yourself in a rich mindset. If you want to start a business, you need to adopt that business mindset. And this shit just takes time. You're not going to change your mindset like overnight. Changing your mindset is a very slow process, and I know this because I've done this multiple times. Our mindset is always, or at least should be always, changing over time, but we can also be self-aware of our mindset and deliberately brainwash ourselves to become the person we want to become. Now, let me tell you a few ways that you can do this and that I have used as well. And the best way to explain these methods is just to give an example. So let's say I want to become an entrepreneur. I need that entrepreneur mindset, and I want to brainwash myself into getting that mindset. I would first read books about entrepreneur stuff. Secondly, all the social media apps I use or watch, I would change the algorithms to be centered around that. So my YouTube page is going to be all entrepreneur videos. On my TikTok, it's going to be all motivational entrepreneur stuff. I would also start journaling and doing affirmations about being an entrepreneur. And then I would also pick my circle very carefully. We literally know that people in our circle have a direct influence on who we become in the future, and that the people we hang around, we're going to become similar to them. So we have to specifically choose our circle to be the people we want to become. So as an entrepreneur, I would also just hang out with other entrepreneurs, be friends with other entrepreneurs, and then I would also practice the same habits that an entrepreneur does. So if I want to become one, I would do the things that they want to do. So maybe waking up early, taking notes, I don't know, like whatever it is. But those are the ways that you can brainwash yourself into becoming the person you want to become. Now, the fifth technique is getting some lore. Some of you don't know what that means probably, but getting lore is basically getting life experience. So pushing yourself in these challenging events, and pushing yourself in these challenging events can just change you in a very substantial way. So this can be physically or mentally, whatever it is, but in the new year, sign up for something that you just haven't done before, something you're scared of, something that you're bad at, something you've always wanted to do, something that's very difficult for you. Just sign up and do something different in 2025. So this will probably not be fun, but it's going to change your perspective on certain things. It's going to make you into a new person and change your life, hopefully, if it's a hard enough thing. And my personal example of this is boxing, which I did for a few months in 2023, which is a little bit back, but that's just an example of something hard that pushed me and gave me a very different mindset and changed my life. And besides changing your life, just doing these things just makes your life cooler, because you just add those experiences. It just gives you lore. Now, Now, the sixth thing that you can do to change your life in this next year is by unlocking freedom. I don't have to explain why this is going to change your life, but you get freedom by getting money. Money allows you to free up your time, go wherever you want, buy whatever you want, literally do whatever the fuck you want in getting freedom. So you cannot lie in saying that having money is just a massive part in getting freedom. It just allows you to do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. And this is obviously going to change your life. So in 2025, you need to get money. You need to grow your money in some type of way. And I'm assuming that most of you guys watching this video, you're just not balling all rich and all that. And the best bet you have to get rich from nothing is by starting an online business. I personally have an online business, and it is the most fair and equal way to get money because you just need internet access and then you can make money from that. It's remote. It's insanely scalable. I don't really have to do the justifying for online businesses, but if you guys want to watch, I literally made a full video on the best online businesses and stuff to start in 2025. So click the top corner right here if you guys want to watch that, because that is a giant part in changing your life in 2025. And if you guys are into self-improvement and making money and getting more attractive, things like that, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, go ahead and please subscribe to me, please. I'm very close to getting monetized on YouTube, guys, so please go ahead and watch next video, subscribe, all that. But jokes aside, thank you for watching this video, and you know what I say, get the fuck off YouTube.